Laura Wood slams baffling take as Eileen Gu criticized over Olympic gold comments. One of the biggest stars at the 2026 Winter Olympics has undoubtedly been Eileen Gu. The American-born Chinese freestyle skier came into the Games with a big reputation but left having enhanced it to even greater levels. The 22-year-old was able to win 3 medals for China at the 2026 Milan Cortina Olympics. As the world's best free skier, she won gold in the halfpipe, having also claimed 2 silvers in slopestyle and big air. As a result, she's now won medals in all 6 events she's entered over the last 2 games, 3 gold and 3 silver, enhancing her status as the most decorated women's freeski athlete of all time. Gu was the best-paid athlete at the Winter Games, but most of her money actually comes from endorsements, including Chinese brands Anta, Bossadeng, Mengyo Dairy and Luke King Coffee. Some of her wealth has come after the Asian country incentivized her to switch national allegiances, although it's important to note her call to stop representing the US comes from a desire to be an inspiration for an underrepresented nation. Even so, having been born in the United States, she sparked a pretty big reaction when switching to China in 2019, and that fallout still lingers today. Speaking this week after her recent success in Italy, an interaction with a reporter went viral. Gu was asked if she viewed her 2 silver medals as something gained, or simply 2 golds lost. She replied. Gu exuded confidence as she eloquently explained why she valued all of her medal wins at the Games so highly, leading her to conclude that the question was ridiculous. However, some have viewed her comments as arrogant. American journalist Megan Basham was one of those to take this stance. The New York Times best-selling author wrote on social media, "I'm sorry, but even beyond betraying her country, this woman is awful. Off-the-chart levels of arrogance. I don't care how many medals she has, there is nothing about her I would encourage my daughters to emulate." Popular British presenter and Premier League host Laura Woods, however, hit back strongly against these claims. She explained that there was nothing wrong with Gu's self-belief, stating, "A snowflake in a blizzard." Laura Woods slams a baffling take while Eileen Gu faces criticism over Olympic gold comments. In the vivid spectacle of the Winter Olympics, stories are written not just on snow and ice, but in the glare of global media and the social media storm that follows every athlete's step. This year, the spotlight shone as brightly, if not more brightly, on the words exchanged off the slopes as on the medals won on them. Central to that whirlwind was Eileen Gu, the 22-year-old skiing powerhouse whose brilliance on the mountain has been matched, it seems, only by the controversies that swirl around her. Against the backdrop of the 2026 Milano Cortina Winter Olympics, Gu's performance was nothing short of historic. She carved out her place in the record books by securing multiple medals, including a gold, making her the most decorated female freestyle skier in Olympic history. Yet achievement alone was not the story that dominated headlines, it was her response to questions about the value of those medals and her choice of representation that stoked debate. The moment that sparked debate. At a post-event press conference after earning silver medals in the slopestyle and big air events, a journalist posed a question that seemed straightforward but ignited a firestorm. Did she see her results as 2 silvers gained or 2 golds lost? Implying that anything short of top podium placement was a failure. Gu's reply was confident and unapologetic. She laughed, not dismissively, but with the self-possession of someone fully secure in her accomplishments, and offered a perspective that reframed the narrative. "I'm the most decorated female freeskier in history. I think that's an answer in and of itself. Winning a medal at the Olympics is a life-changing experience. Doing it 5 times is exponentially harder." Her words were about more than medals, they were about challenging a mindset that equates athletic success solely with gold, a mindset many felt discounted the profound difficulty and significance of Olympic competition at any level. This comment, shared widely across social media and news outlets, quickly became a flashpoint. The backlash and the politics of representation. For some, the substance of Gu's response struck a chord. For others, the controversy surrounding her national allegiance, competing for China despite being born and raised in the United States, has fueled criticism that went far beyond athletic performance. That debate has a long and complex history. Gu chose in 2019 to represent China internationally, a decision she said was rooted in a desire to inspire young athletes in her mother's home country. But such a choice, as global sport and geopolitics increasingly collide, has not sat well with everyone. Voices across the political and media spectrum seized on Gu's comments. Former athletes and commentators called her decisions arrogant, self-centered, or politically charged. Some critics went further, labeling her a traitor for competing against her birth nation. This polarized reception reflects a broader cultural tension. The Olympics, ideally a celebration of unity, excellence, and mutual respect, sometimes becomes a stage for geopolitical meaning-making. Every word spoken by athletes, especially those with bicultural identities like GU, is filtered through layers of interpretation, assumption, and in some cases, raw political sentiment. Laura Woods and the baffling take. In the midst of this cacophony of opinion, British television presenter and commentator Laura Woods stepped in with her own critique, not of GU directly, but of what she described as a baffling take. Woods, known for her forthright and articulate media presence, was addressing commentators and pundits who reduced GU's thoughtful and nuanced reply to something simplistic or arrogant. In Woods' view, the idea that an elite athlete expressing pride in her extraordinary achievements was somehow egotistical or dismissive of others was baffling, a reaction divorced from the realities of elite sport and the genuine human experience it represents. Woods' defense resonated with many observers who feel that modern sports commentary is too quick to judge confidence as arrogance and too eager to politicize every statement. Her critique highlighted an essential truth, that words matter, but so does context. And in the heat of media cycles, context is too often the first casualty. Why this matters more than headlines. At first glance, an athlete responding to a question about medals may seem like a small moment. But this is no ordinary spotlight. GU's response touched on deeper themes that extend far beyond skiing. 1. The pressure to win versus the value of achievement. In elite sports, expectations are high, not just from fans and commentators, but from athletes themselves. GU's retort reminded the world that every Olympic medal represents years of dedication, sacrifice, and resilience. When commentators frame anything less than gold as a disappointment, they risk narrowing the narrative of athletic achievement.